Her eyes were the first thing you noticed. So big, so round, like she hadn't quite grown into them yet. They dominated her little face, giving her a permanently surprised, curious expression that melted hearts instantly. She was just a tiny ball of fluff when we first saw her. Soft, small, and impossibly cute. But the people who had her before didn't see her charm. They saw her as an expense, something broken, something to give away. They told us she had dwarfism, and they were struggling to rehome her. That's when my friend sent me a picture of her. I turned to my husband and said, "Oh my gosh, look at her, she's adorable." We didn't even hesitate. "Yes," we said, "we'll take her." From the moment she arrived, she was full of sass and spark. Our older cat, Cam, went to give her a cautious sniff, and this tiny cotton puff actually growled at him. I couldn't believe it. She was so small. But clearly she wasn't going to let anyone underestimate her. She was rambunctious, playful, and fiercely independent. Despite her size, she ran around like she ruled the house. She'd plunge her whole face into the food bowl, paws first, like, "I don't care about mess, I care about flavour." No matter how many times we cleaned her, she was never quite sparkling white. She was always covered in crumbs or kibbles, and we had no idea where all that food was going. She was constantly eating, but never seemed to grow. Still, the vet assured us, apart from her size, she was in perfect health. There was no reason to worry, until there was. It started with her back legs. They seemed wobbly, like she couldn't quite control them. We thought maybe she'd had a fall, something minor, but then her front legs began to twist, turning crooked and unstable. That's when we knew something was seriously wrong. We took her back to the vet, but this time they said, "This is more advanced than we can handle. We're referring you to the animal hospital." By the time we got there, she could barely walk. When she tried, she had to use her elbows, dragging herself in a heartbreaking crawl. But what stunned me wasn't just the condition. It was her determination. She still tried. She'd drag herself to her food bowl. She'd try to cross the room to sit with us. Her little body was failing, but her will was on fire. Then came the hardest day. After extensive testing, the specialists sat us down. They told us they had done everything they could. The words hung in the air like thunder. "You might want to consider euthanasia." My heart dropped. But one look at her, and I knew she wasn't ready. Her body was struggling, yes, but her eyes, her spirit, still full of life. She wasn't giving up, and neither were we. So we looked for alternatives. One option caught our attention. A treatment that uses electromagnetic pulses to stimulate tissue repair and healing. It sounded like a long shot. We weren't sure it would work, but we had to try. And then, miraculously, it started working. Within a week, she could stretch her front legs again. Soon after, she was standing, and then walking. Not perfectly, but upright. Stable. She could get from room to room without collapsing. I can't describe what it felt like to see her walking again. After everything, to see her strength returning, to see her chase after toys and curl up in her favourite spot like nothing had ever happened. The transformation was remarkable, not just physically, but emotionally. She got her spark back. She never stopped trying, not even at her worst. She wasn't just surviving, she was living. We often call her our little monkey because she's silly, loving, and a bit mischievous. But mostly we call her that because she's a fighter. She's playful, brave, and endlessly curious. She never let her size or her struggles define her.
did really well last week. He's done well with the one, so it wasn't either side. So Tucker Costa gets a chance as well to make sure he gets a few more starts. But can I see what's happening on that?
It's come so late. He's seen it so late. He would have delivered. He put his head down to that surely. I will say this though, they're like mannequins in there. Good movement from France. They go with the zonal system, Croatia, and they've got away with one there. Has a little belatedly come on the screen.
So it's goalless here at the bridge, but a fascinating tactical battle between the two sides.
Today, she's thriving. She may be small, but her heart is bigger than life itself. Her story is a reminder that sometimes the tiniest creatures carry the biggest strength. And that even when hope seems out of reach, miracles can come from the most unexpected places. All she ever needed was a chance.